My name is Wanda Bowman, and we're celebrating my 80th birthday that has been in the planning for over 2 years.
Are you gonna ask me questions or me ask you questions?
We'll start with me asking you questions, and then you can ask me questions.
Okay.
Sound fair?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Jim, do you mind introducing yourselves and your relationship to Wanda?
I'm Jim Atwood. I'm Wanda Bowman's brother, her only brother. There was 4 children in our family. Wanda is youngest. She did not need big brother watching over her. One of the things that...
How long is this going to be here?
I won't make it too long. But no, she was a good sister.
How would you describe Nanny?
As a nice young lady.
Oh, a nice young lady. I heard she's celebrating 80 years.
Yeah, that's kind of young.
We are here to celebrate the birthday of one Wanda Bowman. She has managed to make it 80 times around the sun. And in those 80 trips around the sun, she managed to make a few friends.
Does she have a lot of friends?
Yeah, like tons, and tons. Like 400-ish.
That's a lot of friends.
Yeah, I know, like tons.
It's a little weird to see everybody I know in one place. Every one of Wanda's friends showed up, and we appreciate you coming tonight.
How would you describe her to a stranger?
She's very friendly, generous, outspoken.
She's just full of energy.
My mother is a remarkable individual. She is indeed a force to be reckoned with.
I tell people that my grandmother is a superwoman. She's proud and she's loud and she's boisterous and fun and joyful.
Kind, nice.
Vivacious. She is the most energetic, enthusiastic, loving person I know. Very giving.
Sharing her own life gifts to help others have a blessed life.
If I was describing Nanny to a stranger, I would say look for the person that is incredibly generous and is the person that is going to be organizing to make sure that everybody is having a great time.
Nanny is someone that you have to meet. She is funny, she's bright, she's energetic, she's someone that will make you feel comfortable immediately. She's also someone who could sell a hen her own eggs, so she is a person that's worth experiencing, absolutely.
She is smart, she's intelligent, she's ferocious. And she will give you the shirt off of her back.
She loves to talk, loves to get to know people, learn their story.
She's actively listening to what you're saying. She wants to hear about your life, your stories, lessons you've learned along the way.
She is one of the most inspiring people I have ever met.
I think one of the most impressive things about Wanda is that when she believes in something, she believes 100%.
She's highly competitive, and I think that may be part of what fuels her.
She is the kind of person that has a dream and figures out how to make that dream happen and then follows it through to the end.
But she'll be inclusive of people, she'll be thoughtful of people's feelings, and she'll still manage to get it done. But she'll also make sure that she's brought some people along with her to do it too.
Definitely I would describe her the same way the employees describe her at Ashley Furniture, and it is the widest haired lady in the room. And she is just radiating happiness, energy, and positivity no matter what happens.
She's someone that is like a life of the party. Like if Nanny arrives, even if it's just the two of you, a party has happened. Like it's going to be an event and it's going to be really fun and memorable.
Everything's fantastic, everything's marvelous, everything's fabulous. I love you.
How would you describe her to a stranger?
A stranger? Well, I don't think she's ever met a stranger. So there you go. Next question.
What would you want people to know about Nanny?
That she's special and kind.
Oh, how do you know she's kind?
Because I'm related.
We love our Nanny. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Nanny!
She picked the name Nanny for herself back when we had our first kid, which was the first grandchild, and so she was Nanny after that.
So there is one thing I know about my mother, and it is that she loves her kids and will do anything for her kids and her grandkids.
It's funny to watch your mom become the grandma of your kids in particular. And I got to see her with the grandma of my sister's kids. And it didn't hit me nearly as much as when she had my kids. Because it was oh, you're just wonderful and you can do no wrong and let me just play with you and then hand it back. Which is the joy of a grandparent. 3.5, 4 months ago, I became a grandparent for the first time. And so I am doing the exact same thing. It is so wonderful to be able to do that. And yet you see in her all that same support for her grandkid, just like she had for her own children. She has been a driving force amongst her grandchildren, and she will be for her great-grandchildren too.
When she became a great-grandmother, she just put great in front of that and became Great Nanny.
I'm Wanda Bowman's oldest great-grandson.
And as a great-grandma, she loves to spoil the babies.
She's really good at making sure my birthday's happy.
Oh, like what does she do?
Like get me a cake and get me presents.
What's your favorite kind of cake?
Birthday cake.
I keep in touch with Nanny, like, not that often because, well, I don't have my own phone and yet I'm only 10, so and my allowance doesn't go that far.
So, Aurora Joy Slager, can you tell us about Great Nanny? Are you feeling shy all of a sudden?
As a grandmother, she has always been really engaged with her grandchildren.
She's really generous and kind, and she showed up for all of us in our lives, throughout our lives, and supported the things that we loved.
She's been to all sorts of our different activities that we've done. Whenever I was a kid, she used to fly from Las Cruces to Austin and go see a football game whenever I was in 7th grade.
I mean, I was born and raised in Michigan, which is on the other side of the nation from here. And she's always lived in New Mexico, but I've never felt like she was absent from my life. I've never felt like she's missed a beat. She would come to every dance recital, to piano recitals. She made sure that we knew that we were important to her, even though we live thousands of miles away.
Even though she has really succeeded well in career and her life outside of family, she still deeply values her family. So sometimes for a lot of people, it's a pick or choose, but I think she's done an amazing job succeeding in both areas.
How you do both, first of all, your family must come before everything else. I tried always, when there was choices to be made, it had to be family first. I don't have a problem working 7 days a week. I can get up early and I can work late. Those aren't the challenges. But if there was something that I would have to make a choice between my family and my store, then the family always came first. If Curtis was in a basketball game, I was there. If Paul was playing in the orchestra, in the band, I was there. When Kathleen had orchestra, I was there. Bob and I went on the orchestra trips with them. These were things that I felt was the most important thing. Maybe you had to work doubly hard when you got back to work, but family had to be the first thing, because work one day will be over. Your family is always your family.
Every Christmas card I write,
What is she good at?
Oh, Nanny's good at a lot of things. She's really organized, which is something I really admire because I'm not personally someone who's super organized. She's also very bold and willing to try new things. I remember one time she went skiing as like a 67-year-old woman, went water skiing on a lake with us, which was a really fun memory for me. We called her Hot Rod Nanny. That was our nickname for her because she would just do all these things.
Do you think she's fearless?
Absolutely, yeah. No, there are things I think she's afraid of, so maybe it's better to say she's courageous than fearless because I think she stands up to her fears and she doesn't let them boss her around, which again is something that I try and hold in the back of my mind, is that fear doesn't control your life and doesn't control your actions, and that courage is really what marks her, and I try to let that mark me as well.
Both her and Grandpa Bob, they were very much instilled in us a spirit of adventure.
When I was 5 for my 5th birthday, I went to Disneyland with Nanny.
We do wonderful things together. Bob and I had the privilege of taking every grandchild to Disney when they turned 5 years old.
And, you know, that's a super magical place. There's lots of different things, lots of different experiences. And then basically ever since then, you know, all of us grandchildren have been super interested in traveling the world, learning new cultures, different languages, trying new things.
But probably my biggest thing was not to be afraid to travel. Me personally by nature tend to be pretty shy and timid, but she's someone that's bold and adventurous, and she always took us on bold adventures, which gave me a big taste for that. So it made it so that I couldn't stop. Even as an adult, when I wanted to go and do something, I would, because I'm like, you know what, Nanny would take me, or she would do it this way, and she wouldn't be afraid to just go and live and go places. So I've traveled to over 30 countries, and I directly say that's because Nanny encouraged travel and that love of travel, even for someone who is afraid of airplanes, afraid of going places, afraid of all of those things, because Nanny could do it, and she took me when I was young. It made me want to keep doing it. It's a little hard to summarize exactly what she means to me, but she's someone that is part of my bones. She's part of my travels has been to go to Ireland, and her family has got Irish heritage in it, and so that was something that I didn't expect when I got to Ireland. I felt this immediate sense of I've just brought something inside of me home, and part of that is absolutely Nanny, and that was her family and that connection. So the person that she is folded into the making of me, so much so that it's almost impossible to say exactly who she is or what she is to me. But the only thing I can say is that she's beyond precious. She is a treasure of great magnitude that is absolutely irreplaceable, and that I love with every part of me.
In one of Tony Hillerman's novels, there is a discussion about the difference between an important man and a valuable man. An important man could be because of his position, because of his wealth, but a valuable person has an intrinsic value within their family, within their friends, and within the community. And I think that fits Wanda exactly. I would love to hear a very loud round of applause to observe her now brand new membership in the Sisterhood of the Ancient Ones. Come on.
Hello there, I'm Barbara Hubbard, and I have been around this old world since 1927. And in Las Cruces, New Mexico since 1954. And I'm happy to say that I met Wanda when I was running the Pan American Center and bought furniture from her. In fact, I was probably her first customer, she and Bob. So that's the way we got acquainted. From then on, I won't call it a love affair, but it was certainly one that started growing as we got to know each other.
What do you love about her?
If you really want to know the truth, her honesty. I mean, you know where you stand with her. You don't have to play games. You don't have to say, I'm sorry. It's just sort of, I'm going to use this phrase, damn the torpedoes full speed ahead with Wanda. And she's a very honest person. She is concerned about our country. She's concerned and wants everybody to have the best in life to offer. And you won't find a better friend anywhere.
Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down.
You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, and I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you.
Are there any life lessons that have impacted you?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is to believe in the people who dream. When I was a kid growing up, she was there for every recital, every ballet performance, every nutcracker. And now that I'm a professional, she's still there and she's still supportive.
Glass-covered eyes, I walked out of ballet class at 11 with abrupt news. Ditch the glasses. Or my dreams of pirouettes.
But it was that process of believing in me when I was still dreaming and before I had produced any real product. You know, my best work was not when I was 7 years old. But she was still there and she was saying, you can do this, you've got this, I'm cheering you on.
I'll never forget looking at her blue eye to eye and hearing, don't you worry, look into those contacts. I look back and I know the eye gear couldn't make a difference, but her support did. To have someone in your corner when you're backed against a wall, no path out, I realized that while my blue eyes held a piece of Nanny, she held all of me.
You get a lot of those people once you've made it who are going to tell you this is great, this is wonderful, we're so amazed by where you've gotten, but to have that person consistently through your whole life cheering you on before you were ever anything exceptional, that's priceless.
Brandon, that was absolutely lovely. Remind you, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friend in need.
One of the things that really impresses me with Wanda and Bob both, was their business of sharing for the less fortunate.
She has a heart of gold. She wants to make sure other people get stuff. And it comes from, when she was growing up, she grew up rather poor. And it was a blessing, but it also gave her a lot of drive. And when you watch her, you'll see that come out in almost everything she does.
Especially since she's been in Ashley's store, she's in a position to let folks have things who really need it, who can't get it otherwise, like beds.
Well, the way that I always describe my grandmother to my friends is that she is the most kind and giving person, and a great example of that I usually always lead off with is that she gives beds to kids during December.
She does a program pretty much every Christmas that I can remember where she gives beds to kids who need them. Just out of the goodness of her heart. She loves Christmas, she loves children, and she loves to give.
And so it's been wonderful to see her, hear her heart, when she calls and says, I've got 150 letters to read through or whatever, and I'm trying to decide who, to give beds to for Christmas or any of those kinds of things. She's just always had her hands in that generosity. And I know that my dad, when he was alive, that was a real big part of what he wanted to do as well.
That's how she is every day of every year. She's always the kindest, most giving person that she can be, because she knows that she can and that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, I find her giving spirit, her generosity, really inspirational. A lot of people who have had the kind of success that she has have a talent for keeping it to themselves, and she has the opposite talent.
Have you seen her heart in giving?
My Lord of mercy, yes. Not just her heart, but her whole self. She's very aware of children. That's the first level. Second level is those that are truly in need. Now, she's just about like most of us of our age. We worked hard for what we've attained in this life, and she doesn't mind helping anybody that really needs the help. Her heart is as big as, well, you just name it and I'll agree with it.
I think a portion of that is motivated by her faith, trying to be the light that you want to see in the world.
What do you admire about how Wanda lives out her faith?
It's a question of what do you need and what do we have and how can we transform the world together?
I try to emulate her generosity when I can, because I feel like it's important to give back to the people around you, to help them out if you're in a more fortunate situation than them. And that's something I picked up from her.
The thing that probably nobody else will go through is, I remember coming home from Scouts one night. She was driving me home and she turned on a green arrow and the person accidentally ran the other light. And she put her arm out to save me, still had her left hand on the steering wheel, and broke her shoulder bone. And she did that because had to save the kid. I was 14. I was going to be fine. But she always worries about the other person first.
But Wanda's one of the most giving people that I've ever met, one of the true heart people I've ever met.
Why is it important to you to give back, especially in this community where you've given so much?
I give back because I have been so overwhelmingly given to. And so much my community has supported me so well that I feel it's important that I continue to support my community. And when I say support, I have been supported by New Mexico State University, which, well, they've just been a godsend to me. They have come to me when they've needed things. I've called my friends out there when I've needed something. The university is very important to this community. My church has been very important to me, and I've been able to help through them. But there's many organizations that do so much good, especially if we can do the good for the younger people, and I say younger people like under 25. We need to help our young men and women that are on the sports program at the university. And we need to help them by just being in the seats and yelling for them, "Go Aggies."
I've learned so much about your life from just in the last 24 hours, just about how to live life.
Let me tell you, your sister has been a phenomenal young lady. She was starting, she was new, and she worked so hard. I joked with her one day, if I had a second daughter, I would have it be Marcy Dickerson.
And that's still the biggest compliment I've ever gotten in my whole life. Like, that is it. That is the quintessential, I have achieved everything compliment in my life.
Because I see the goals that she has. She comes up with new and wonderful ideas. I'm excited about the Warriors that we will be doing tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out today for the Warrior Draft Day.
Go Warriors! Do you get to play baseball today?
They are doing a baseball warrior league for children with disabilities.
With the next pick from Ashley Furniture, Santi.
So today was the culmination of a tremendous amount of ideas and hard work by so many people. Yeah.
That child that somebody didn't pick them first or pick them at all.
There we go.
She has a reason for them all to feel like they have been picked.
First base. I need somebody to catch him. And you know what? It was just great. I mean, today we got to give children who had never before had the opportunity to play baseball.
And to watch these kids, I had an opportunity to be out there at home plate and cheer them in. And the little faces with all the glee and all the smile and just running for all their worth. I mean, one little guy just amazed me how fast he could run. Good job. You're very fast.
Thank you to Ashley Furniture for your support today at the Warrior League. And happy birthday, Miss Wanda Bowman.
This is what we need, is encouragement and love for one another and taking care of this community. It was absolutely a joy. And it's hot.
Marcy, last question. What does this woman mean to you?
You know what? She's gonna make me cry. You're not nice. I'm honored to call her my friend, because not only is she my mentor and my hero, but she's taught me so much about what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. And I mean, really, the Warrior League is a byproduct of all the things that she showed me and taught me, because if it wasn't for Wanda teaching me over the last, 20 some odd years that this is what you do. And when you see a problem in your community, you stand up and you fix it.
My name is Saxon Marr. I have known Wanda probably since I was born through my mother. I get there first day and I'm expecting to sit on the comfy beds that are $7,000 and just kind of kick my feet up. And I think it's gonna be easy, but not at all. First day, she had me go around across town to every single furniture store we could find. And I had to write a report back to her in 2 days about their prices, how they treated everyone, and what Ashley Furnitures could do to be better. So again, thank you, Miss B. Here's to another 80.
We're not perfect, but we're perfect for me. This song was written a while ago, and it has been recorded along with a bunch of other songs, largely in part to the support of my nanny. She's amazing. This party is such a testament to the wonderful person that she is. So thank you all for being here.
Are there any lessons that you've learned from how she lives her life that have impacted you?
Yes, she has taught me to be authentic and genuine, to never be afraid of who I am.
Any lessons you have learned from Wanda?
Tons. I don't know how many.
That's one of the things that she taught me, is that there's just nothing that you can't do. If you can think it through, it can happen.
From her, I've learned to be tenacious. I think that's a really good one. She's really just like a go-getter and someone who's very determined and motivated, and that's something I've been able to pick up from her, just to follow my dreams and to do things and do them well.
Not be afraid to try things, not be afraid to fail. That she's always going to be there for you, kind of help you get back up when you do fail.
Just because you fail, that's temporary, and you can overcome that with effort and prayer.
To fail is not a problem. I failed. I failed on some of the business ventures I've made. But you pick yourself up, you dust yourself off. There's always a plan A, B, C, and D. You always know worst scenario. When we took over building the Ashley Empire, being the first Ashley furniture store in the state of New Mexico, when we started that, the one thing we did not give up or loan against was a fifth wheel trailer and a pickup truck. And I knew if we failed miserably and we lost everything, Bob and I and the dogs could jump in the back of that fifth wheel trailer and we could start over, and you just claw your way back to the top again.
Are there life lessons that she has taught you that you will always lean on?
Probably, yeah. Sorry? I think the generosity is a big one of them. Always set an extra plate at the table, or maybe 2 or 5.
She's really shown me the value of hospitality and of making sure that people are feeling warm and welcome and taken care of.
I'd love to be as kind as her, as nice as her, as generous as her.
How to be loyal, how to be a good friend, be a good person.
She has taught us that the way to become a better person is just by caring for other people, no matter what their circumstances, no matter what your circumstance is.
And if you do that, you feel good inside, and it's just you need to use your position to help other people.
It's about the purpose, it's about the solution, and how will we get there. So one of the main sentences I keep learning from Wanda is, what can we do so that?
You help people just one step at a time. Recently, we had a young lady who the family called and said she needed a bed. We literally put the bed in the kitchen. And this young lady hung onto the pillow saying, for the first time, I have a pillow of my own. You know, that just breaks my heart. You know, we're in a land of plenty. These young people, and they're all children under the age of 12, they need to know somebody out there did something for them. One day, they'll turn around and do something for someone else. They'll pass it on because somebody in the first place cared enough to do for them.
She's taught me how unconditional love works.
Always, 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 at the end of the day, she'll always remind us like, hey, Raquel, you know, I love you unconditionally. And it doesn't matter what you do or what you have or how you give, but I will always love you. So sorry.
I'm Susana Martinez, the 31st governor of the state of New Mexico.
You love life. I have been in town when you work all day long, early hours, work all day, and then you're out to the racetrack and enjoying yourself and friends and family. I love that. You're an inspiration to me.
After I lost my mom, who is the person I always turned to whenever things were challenging, is that I had the opportunity to turn to Wanda. Wanda was always upbeat. She wanted to know what challenges I was facing, but she always turned things around to be a positive. But she was also a great listener. And so I always felt like she was sort of that second mom you get, and I loved her for that.
What I'm here to tell you is that it's been a pleasure this evening to see all the people that have shown support to Wanda and her business. But thank you, Wanda. Appreciate so much what you've done, and keep up the good work, girl.
Every single one of us hopes to be as fabulous as you are on our 80th birthday, but you have set the bar very high. So happy birthday from all of us.
Wow. Thank you very much. It's pretty hard to leave me speechless. I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for my children, my friends, my family, my employees. I'm not going to try and mention every name because I know I'll forget someone, but you've all made this such a special night. Having my children, my great-grandchildren come and celebrate all of the wonderful things that I've had the opportunity to experience in 80 years. And when we went on to the huge Ashley Furniture Home Store, I had a dream that it was in me one more time. I could just do that one more time. But in the background, I was still afraid I could fail. And we kept a fifth-wheel trailer and a pickup truck. And it was like, if we fail, because I put off a whole farm out there, my house was on the line, everything we could possibly put and wager against the Ashley Furniture Home Store. We put it all up there knowing that we'd either totally fail and we'd live in a fifth wheel trailer or we'd make it. Well, you know, all of you people have been with us. As someone said, they all have a piece of Ashley furniture in their house. I sincerely appreciate everything you've always done, and we've come around to the other side of it, and it's been a pretty darn terrific 80 years. So I just want to thank everyone very much, and I believe that Miss Marcy has some wonderful desserts here for us, so we're going to have dessert. But first,
Like any good birthday party, we've got to sing the birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Wanda. Happy birthday to you.
Any final thoughts? Probably just thanks for being who you are.
You know, I love you, Nanny, and you know, I'm glad that you've been around this long, and I hope we get a good long time more with you.
Happy 80th, Nanny. Enjoy your retirement. You've more than earned it.
And it's not about becoming successful. It was about living her best life. And this is her 80th birthday, and I think, without a doubt, that she has done that.
Me being about 15 years older than her, I hope I'm around to watch her for at least a dozen more years. Ha ha.